that. All right, you guys ready?
Sure.
Okay. Hey everybody, this is Chad Jordan from Sport Clips. This is another edition of the Sport Clips Hall of Fame podcast. And hopefully you're watching us on YouTube or you're listening on iTunes or Google Play or SoundCloud or even on our sportclips.com/podcast website that we have. We've got another great episode for you today. I'm in a beautiful Omaha, Nebraska, where they have rolled out the red carpet for the weather for this California boy. We're recording this in it's the spring, late spring, and it feels like it's in the 30s. I know it's not, but that's what it feels like. Okay, all right. Well, so I'm not used to it. I didn't bring the coats for this, and I'm leaving tonight, and I'm not going to miss the cold rainy weather. But at any rate, having a blast here, and the couple that we're going to interview today for the podcast, they are a major reason why I've had such an amazing time in Omaha and why our clients have such amazing experiences in 8 stores right now with the 9th on the way. So we're going to get to the bottom of kind of the secrets to their success, because I don't want them to be secrets. I want them to be shared across all of Sport Clips and the franchise world. Would be nice. So without further ado, could I have, let's see, I'm going to go ladies first. Could I have you, young lady, introduce yourself? How about, why don't you give me half of the store numbers, and then we'll have your husband give the other half and see if he has them memorized as well. All right. So your name and store numbers that you have as part of your repertoire.
Angie Roberts, NE102, NE103, NE104, NE106.
Oh.
Made it easy for you.
Okay, all right. Okay, that was nice. All right, so, and then to your left, who do we have?
Dan Roberts, and we also run 107, 109, 111, and IA 601.
All right. So, and they're all, within half an hour of each other or so? I mean, they're all pretty clustered right around here in
That's
Omaha.
the beautiful thing about Omaha. You're within 20 minutes of everything.
Yeah. Although the roads in Omaha are in a league of their own, let's put it that way.
Right.
They actually renamed the AAA baseball team to the Omaha Potholes.
Okay, it's very, very fitting, very fitting.
It's pretty bad.
Fortunately, I've had a great driver. We'll talk about Stephanie here, the area coach here in a little bit. But the reason we're having this dynamic duo on the podcast is because they were recently named Team Leaders of the Year at our annual convention, and they have had a Logan Trophy store. Let me see if I can get the number right. NE107.
Yes.
Did I get it right? Okay.
Nice
NE107. And that store is it Tara Kohler? What's up?
Tanya.
Okay.
Tanya
All right.
Kohler.
Bingo.
Okay. Tanya Kohler.
That's pretty good.
So they already are well known in the Sport Clips world for having amazing stores, just really well run, successful stores. And at our most recent convention, their name was read off. What happens when they read your name? Edward was reading the names this year. What happens when the names get read and you guys realize you're Team Leaders of the Year? What was that like?
We also got to add, though, Sandy at NE102.
Oh, yeah.
Was a runner-up with the Logan Trophy as well.
Twice?
Got
Is that
give
true?
Props.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about Sandy a little bit, but you guys were sitting up front, right? You were
Yes.
kind of close.
Yeah.
Now, how did that work? Did you know? Did they say, "Hey, we're going to seat you up front because you're going to have a chance at winning," or you just happened to be sitting up front this year?
They kind of have a seating order, and then the seating chart, and our air developer was up front this year, so that was exciting. But the girls, it's kind of first come, first serve.
Mm-hmm.
So our girls got down there early and grabbed
Oh yeah,
that
for the awards
table.
banquet. You're right. Yep.
Yeah. So they grabbed that table. I remember looking around at the girls, and they were all holding hands.
Mm-hmm.
All of our girls at the table. So
What were they praying? I mean,
no,
what
they
was
were just
going
like
on?
holding hands. I don't know, maybe
having a Hail Mary right at the last
right.
second. Okay.
But fellow team leaders, as you know, I don't know. I kind of feel like our managers are kind of like your children, and when you take them to the huddle, you feel like mom and dad and your 8 children at the huddle, and so. as a parent, team leader, I was so proud they're all getting along because, 8 girls, we
Yeah.
sometimes don't always.
Right.
So I wanted a picture of them all holding hands. So the next time we got a phone call from one of them about something the other one did that was annoying. Remember, you held hands at the huddle.
Yeah.
I saw you. You do like each
At
other.
one point, you got along.
So that was really cool. I saw them, and then actually once they said our names, I was shocked. But it was so cool to see their reactions. They were all crying and hugging, and
Was this before or after Hilda May had gotten Manager of the Year?
we were first, and then she was after
Oh
that.
man, so
it
geez,
was
you guys started. Was it right after?
I think she was right after
Yeah.
us.
Okay. So
Yeah.
they had the
Yeah.
euphoria hadn't even died down yet
No.
from you guys winning.
No, which made it super fun watching
And I thought one of the things that was cool is that in the process all I could think about is I wanted Hilda May to win.
Uh-huh.
I was like, gosh, I hope she wins. I hope she wins. And then they announced our name, and I'm like,
Well, what are we up
wait
for?
a minute,
We're not managers.
What are we even doing here? Yeah. So I was just
great.
like, I hope Hilda May wins. But at the same time, when they were holding, and I'm a typical husband, so I don't notice when she gets her hair done.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of oblivious to everybody holding hands, but they were rooting for us.
Yeah.
At the same time that we were
Come
on,
neat.
Hilda May, come on, Hilda May.
Yeah.
And again, to think that all of their nominations are what got that.
Right. We were talking off air. You guys were reminding me, clarifying. You weren't reminding me. You were clarifying because when I interviewed Hilda May for her podcast, I knew I hadn't gotten the story correct, but I had mentioned to her, I think that Dan or Angie had emailed me asking for what are we supposed to do with Manager of the Year nominations, but they didn't make sense because how long have you been team leaders?
11 years.
11 years. So in those 11 years, you've nominated a manager or two
We
before.
have.
So why would you
Yes.
reach out to the social media guy for it? And so we put 2 and 2 together off air and realized Hilda May was the one who emailed me saying, what are we supposed to do to nominate our team leaders
Aw.
for team? And of course, she had been, her second year
Right.
of
Right.
being a manager.
Manager.
So of course
Yeah.
she didn't know the process, and
Right.
I didn't know the process either. So we forwarded along to the appropriate people.
They're pretty resourceful. I think they're trying to work all the angles.
Yeah, I'm sure they're like, hey, we know somebody on the inside.
Right.
Let's.
That's cool that she felt so comfortable with you. So that's
that
kudos
is-
to you and how comfortable the managers feel with you.
You've got an amazing team here. We're going to talk in today's podcast about your stores, about this market that you found yourself in. What makes them so well run? What are some of the secrets? But I want to get to first. It's not the BC days; it's the BSC days, before Sport Clips days. Because are you both full time in Sport Clips, or is one of you like an insurance broker or something on the side, or got some?
We are both full time.
Okay, both full time. 11 years in, 8 stores in, you're
and
both
I'm
full time.
3.5, almost 4 years in.
Okay.
Full time.
Okay, so take me back. So it's 2019. So around 2007 or 2008, you guys are thinking we need to do something additional to
Right.
add something additional to our lives. Whoever takes this question, take it and run with it. What was your life looking like at that time, and what made you lean towards Sport Clips?
Well, we had been transferred to Omaha through my professional career, and
Which was what? Is it like were you a top secret government agent or something? I
I
still
was
can't
in,
get out of you what you were doing before this.
Right. I was in medical sales.
Okay. Oh, that's why it was so exciting that you
surgical
didn't want
sales.
to. Okay, you didn't want to reference it because it's just.
And it was a very good job. And if you know anything about the surgical world, it's pretty high pressure.
My dad was an OR nurse, so
Okay.
Oh,
we
yeah.
know
Okay.
a little bit about
Yeah.
surgery.
Pretty high pressure stuff, and I liked it, and it offered me a lot of opportunities. But I thought there's got to be a better way, because a lot of those companies were led by fear.
Mm.
In other words,
You better sell or else.
if you don't get the job done, there's 150
Oh, yeah.
people behind you that
I
would
know
love
that
the job.
sales world very well.
Right. And I traveled quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And
Where
I
were you?
knew-
Were you based out of here already, or because
Yeah.
you relocated
Remote
here
from
for
Iowa.
okay
Correct.
from
At
Iowa?
that time, I covered Nebraska, South Dakota, and North Dakota. So if you think the weather's bad here,
It only gets worse. The more you got, the more
Right.
north you go.
I remember being in North Dakota once, and I threw out a hot cup of coffee, and it crystallized
Oh,
instantly.
jeez.
So
Yeah,
that's
like
an
those
example,
viral
but
videos we've seen. Mm-hmm.
I just didn't want to miss all the kids' stuff. And
What
we
kids?
were
What do you-
building a
what-
family.
Okay. So how old are
We've-
your kids now?
Well, I'll show you.
You got some photos.
so
Man,
this
this
is-
guy's prepared. Brought
this is-
photos. You got
this is
something else? Another prop? for me?
today.
All right. That's what they look like today.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. And then this was a little bit down the road.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
me as sporty
Uh-huh.
there.
Of course, every team leader has to play sporty at some
right,
point.
Right,
You
right,
have
right.
to.
Yeah, that's baptized.
So today we have a 16-year-old daughter and a 12-year-old son.
Oh wow.
And
So they were littles.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's the kind of the time of your life where you're looking at it. You're traveling a lot,
Yes.
and you're going, I don't want to miss this. I want to.
And
Miss
I
it.
were
was
little.
raised
I
by a
was-
single mother.
Okay.
And Dad was in a different geography.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, my mom had to work a lot, and she missed a ton of sporting events.
Mhm.
And I listened and learned, and she really wished that she had the opportunity to take part of that. And that's really what motivated me to look.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So I was a stay-at-home mom. I have a
Okay.
little bit of a different version of the story.
Okay. All right. Yeah. That's
I was
marriage
staying
for
at
you,
home.
right?
Right. Yes. So I was staying at home. We had a 1-year-old and a 4-year-old. And so I guess he kind of thought she needs more to do.
Oh. Okay. All right.
That's kind of my.
You were
version
going
of it.
stir crazy.
Right.
Is that what
right.
was
I
happening?
didn't. I just didn't have anything.
I mean, the
to do.
infants were hard on me.
Right.
right.
Pregnancies were
Joking,
hard on him
joking.
too.
Mhm.
You know.
Yes.
So, but I laugh because when we moved to Omaha, Dan didn't know what to do because his barber didn't move with us.
Oh. Okay. So this is a personal story here.
His
Okay.
barber was invited to our wedding. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
and
What's
he
your barber?
An hour
Is he
and
still
a half.
is he still alive?
Jerry Mottarello with
Okay.
Barber Stylist Limited in Des Moines, Iowa.
Wow.
Yes.
Did he still have a shop and everything?
Yep,
All
still got
right.
the shop.
Okay. Shout
He
out.
drove an hour and a half, 2 hours to come to our wedding in small town Iowa. Jerry came in the freezing,
Wow.
sleeting snow. So he had a really good relationship with his barber. So I remember when we moved over here, he was frantic because he didn't have a barber. So he tried, some different franchises, and he loved Sport Clips. So obviously,
So
shout
there,
out to.
let's see. There was only one here, right? How many
Right.
were there?
No.
No, there were a couple.
So,
11 years ago.
so I gotta
12 years.
add to that. So
Okay.
the first haircut I had was Sport Clips. Was at David Wiesman's store.
Yeah.
You visited that store.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, 101.
Yep.
And ironically, the girl that cut my hair is employed for us now.
Who was that?
Lindsay
Let's-
Johns.
Okay.
Yep.
Believe it
So-
or not, isn't that crazy?
So Lindsay, and it must have been a good haircut.
it was great.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Lindsay played a role in you guys becoming Sport Clips team leaders. Now you're
Absolutely.
team leaders of the year.
Yes.
Hey, Lindsay, I think you should ask for a raise. I don't know what they're paying you. Just
Right.
between you and me.
Right.
No, just kidding. But no, really, you should. So that's awesome. So you sat down. You had gone to other places. Sport Clips was your favorite, and so 2007-ish, right? Is that
Right.
the timeline?
Yep.
And
There
boy,
would have been 3.
Okay,
Because we
yeah.
opened 104.
Yeah, okay,
So
that's
there
right,
would
when
have
you
been
started.
3.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Yep.
they looked way different than they look now.
Yes, yes.
Still had the 5-point play.
Yep.
I don't know. Do you remember? Did you get the MVP your very first time?
Yeah,
Did Lindsay?
that's what
she
I liked.
upsold you to the.
I didn't think I'd like the steam towel, but I loved it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Jeez, and all these years later. So hey, newsflash. This is great. Thank you. Next time you think about, should I really press this client to try to get an MVP?
Yeah.
Think about it. That could be the future team leader of the year. You're upgrading to an MVP.
That's
So.
You can't afford not to.
Right, that's exactly right. So, and like Hilda May said in her podcast, that by the time this one airs, people have listened to, it's to the client's best interest to have
Absolutely.
it, and you are living proof of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
I thought it was so funny too because I remember him coming home and he was like, so I got a haircut and I did like the whole thing and it was like $20.
ooh, and you were like $20,
I'm
man.
like, I'm so glad you have no idea what I pay when I
Uh-huh.
get my hair done. So, but again, obviously he felt that it was definitely worth it. So
Did the light bulb go on right then? Like you realized, wait a minute, this is a concept that could work, and maybe I could start
Right.
looking to transition.
Right. Well, we were looking into franchise concepts
Mhm.
because we didn't have time to reinvent the wheel.
Yep.
and come up with our own ideas. We needed somebody with experience that had a system in place that's proven to work.
And but you, I mean, were you open to anything? Food, tire changing, you name it.
We were probably like a lot of people at that time. Subway and Quiznos and all that was pretty hot.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to be
Perishable goods, man, that's tough.
Yeah,
Caustic
food is tough,
food, yeah.
and I didn't want to be making sandwiches. The whole goal was to spend more time with our family.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that would fit into what we were looking for. So we actually took Metro Community College. Metro Community College here. We both have our degrees, but we took it upon ourselves to take a franchising class.
Really?
At Metro Community College.
Wow.
To learn more about it. And the best advice he gave me was make sure that the lifestyle that the franchise provides you fits into what you're looking for, which is exactly what I was just saying.
Yeah, yeah, because you didn't want to be stuck to a shop 7 days a week, 12-hour days. This is coming from somebody who started a restaurant chain and knows a thing or two.
Oh, okay.
And got out when he could, because I had small kids as well.
Yeah,
that's a podcast for another day. But I think you made the right choice. Is my point.
But that was the best advice that I've
that's
been
amazing.
given is because no matter how good and also how bad you do, if it doesn't fit your lifestyle, it's not going to work in the long run.
So was the goal the early days? Angie would kind of operate and kind of be the off-site owner operator while you still kept your career going for a little while.
Yeah.
I mean, we did not have a bunch of money in the bank. We could not just roll this out and fund it ourselves. So I had to stay employed.
Right.
To have a.
So would you start with a 3-pack?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I actually cashed in some of my 401k, so I was really rolling the dice.
Been there, done that.
Right.
Yeah, so you literally went all in.
Right.
And so the first store was at 104. You bought an existing store.
We opened 104.
104.
First.
Okay.
Yep.
So you
It
did
was our very first store.
So you did a build out. You went through the whole our grand opening process.
Yes.
Actually, it was dirt. The spot was dirt.
Take me. So the it was not even an empty shell yet. There were no walls.
Correct.
So they hadn't built the place.
Yep.
Take me through those early days on what you were seeing, what you were fearing. Was there any trepidation, or was there too much excitement around the possibilities?
Well, we were excited and scared, and I mean, I cashed in some of my retirement, and so that's a scary thought.
Yeah.
And we leveraged our home for some of the business loans that we got. So that's a scary thought, but I guess we went for it.
Yeah, excitement and nervousness. I think there was both. It was just a piece of land, and David was helpful. Our area developer was helpful. The real estate committee. I mean, everybody at corporate has been so helpful from day one.
During the building process and leading up to it, there was a lot of hours between 8 p.m. and 2 a.m.
Yeah, when the kids are
getting all the things done that you needed to, ordering all the products.
Especially because you had another job, so it's not like you could do it while you're talking a surgeon into buying whatever he needed, or whatever you do.
Yeah, absolutely right.
No multitasking there.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Then I think it was, once we got the store up and running, I think it was really hard to kind of let go. I don't have children that I've sent off to college yet, thankfully, not too far away, but I kind of envision it to have that similar feeling. You kind of have to give everything you can, all the support, but then yet you kind of have to.
So what was the challenge? Not being there every hour of every day, and opening and closing and
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of on edge till it's, once it hits 8 o'clock at night and there's been no phone calls, 8:30, like, okay, I can relax now till 9 a.m. tomorrow. But, just, letting go and trusting them that they're going to take care of this thing that you just put so much money and soul and sweat into.
Right.
That was kind
of. I remember interviewing which we knew, had a pretty good idea the most important thing you do is hire a manager.
Yeah.
I mean, we had heard that over and over and over. And I remember interviewing for them.
Hiring the right manager.
Yes. Yes. And we didn't have. Now we only promote from within. Period. You cannot
like Hilda May Cruz.
Right. Yep. You cannot come from outside and be a manager with us. But
that's a luxury at 8 or 9 stores that you didn't have at one. So let me.
There's a point to this. So we were interviewing all these managers, receiving applications, resumes, the whole 9 yards. And we went through the process, and the day after we hired our first manager, I received a resume from Sandy Graham, who is now Sandy Palmer.
Okay, I was gonna say Sandy. I didn't know her maiden name, but yes, okay.
Yeah.
And
So timing is a big thing
yes,
too.
exactly. Yeah, no kidding.
Because I certainly would have hired
Yeah,
Sandy had I received that resume a day
24 hours earlier.
Yes.
What,
yes.
so did you hire Sandy anyways as a stylist?
She became the manager at Any 102, which at that time was owned by somebody else,
Yeah,
or team
okay.
leader somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And then little did we know, 2 years after we opened 104, right?
Yep.
Yeah. We have a similar story to a lot of people. It did not take off right away.
Right.
18 months in, I'm like, this is a reverse ATM.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what did we do to ourselves?
It's a newer market that you were in, right? You were first timers. You didn't, or not, no offense, but you didn't really know what you were doing yet.
No, we
So
didn't. No.
So how do you survive that?
We were trying to work our way through all those challenges of getting the right people in place and getting that energy and that vibe, and we just decided, we said, we got to make a choice. We're either all in or we're not.
Mm-hmm.
And we ultimately believed in what Sport Clips stood for, because it meshed so nicely with why we wanted to look at other opportunities. And an opportunity presented itself to buy 2 stores in the market, which was Any 102 and Any 103 at the same time. So existing stores that have been open, 6-7 years at that time?
Sure.
Did one of them come with Sandy?
Yes.
Did Any 102 had her?
102,
Okay.
the manager was Sandy.
Okay.
Yep.
And at that time, 6,000 to 7,000 a week? That store?
Oh, I can't remember.
Roughly 6
Yeah.
to 8 maybe?
Yeah, that sounds right.
That ballpark?
It was treading water for you guys, but it wasn't what it's doing now.
Right.
No,
right,
I mean,
right,
she just
right.
had a 20K week, Mother's Day week.
Yeah, she.
Right.
Because she'd probably been there for a couple years, maybe.
Yeah.
That's it.
So when we purchased those 2 stores with our existing store, that was the difference maker.
Mm-hmm.
We were all in at that point.
And all in what aspect? That you believe we're gonna make this work, or we're gonna go down swinging? Is that what you mean, or did you quit your other job to focus on? Okay, still hadn't done that.
No.
Still hadn't done that.
All right.
Couldn't afford to at that point.
Yeah.
But I think it gave us more visibility onto what is successful and what is not.
Mm-hmm.
And would you agree with that?
So the key for you, the early key was getting out of just having one store. You needed that. You needed that 2 to 3 store.
Doubling down on our gambling.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
To use the huddle theme that you won
Yeah,
Team Leader of the Year at, double down. Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
Mm-hmm.
Good one.
Yeah.
You're the living embodiment of someone who's a couple that have doubled down.
And
Right.
those stores, I mean, they were turned around by the team leader that we bought them from.
Yeah.
So they were on their, they
Right.
were becoming successful.
You
So
wanna
I
give a
think that
shout
helps. So that helped too.
Sure.
They were being
Yeah.
run by successful team leaders that we purchased them from.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that helped too. Like he said, just had more ambition and more gumption going in the right direction.
Right.
So
Which was, looking back, which was more challenging? Opening a brand new store, especially as first timers, or buying an existing store? Or they each have their differences, right?
I'll
So
let you answer that.
I personally think it's more challenging opening a brand new store versus purchasing.
and why?
You already have the staff, you already have the client flow. I feel like that most difficult thing, even today, is recruitment.
Mm-hmm.
I think once we get them, they stay.
Yes, that's true for you guys for sure.
I think getting the clients is the easy part. I hope
Yeah,
I don't sound so boastful.
No,
but,
you don't.
and
And
I
you're
know-
talking to the marketing
I have a
director.
marketing
So
degree,
yeah,
so
okay,
I totally understand marketing. So, and I mean, I understand recruiting, but I think that's harder.
Yeah.
So you have a team there, and maybe that team needs some work. I'm all about giving everybody an opportunity to jump on board. So, we've made a lot of changes in the last couple of years that I kind of talked to you about with bringing Tessa on board. So I feel like even if you have a staff and maybe they need some TLC, that's easier than bringing in new people.
Right.
That's my opinion.
Right.
I feel like it's easier to face those challenges of an existing store than getting a new staff, but that's my opinion.
No.
Yeah.
Hey, Team leader of the year. I think your opinion counts for something.
Yeah.
So.
I think it's,
Right,
I
right.
mean, to me it's harder to recruit staff than clients.
Well, think about it. It's easier for a client to risk going to a place for a haircut than it is for a stylist to risk leaving a current job, which they all have,
Right.
Yes.
right?
Yep.
I mean,
Yep.
every
Yeah.
stylist's work.
Yes. Yes.
For them to leave a current job for something that they don't yet know about, which is why
Absolutely.
promoting the culture of Sport Clips and creating the culture of Sport Clips in a market is so important. And you guys have done this. I'm doing the shout out now because in this market, I think you guys are the first set of stores that I've gone to every team leader your stores. So because they're all close together, so
Yes.
that
Right,
helps me
right,
when
which is
when I
great,
come
yeah.
to market. But we have this this saying or this mindset at headquarters that we know within 3 seconds of walking into a location what the vibe's like and what the culture
very
and how the
important.
team leaders are
It's very
doing.
important.
And I it didn't take 3 seconds. It took 3 steps into any of your stores. So what are you doing right now 11 years later, that that resonates so well with your team, with your clients, just with the whole vibe of your store?
I think that you need to